Oh, dadgum. Oh. Good afternoon. Welcome back to another video with a guy and his projects. Today we are working on the 2006 Jeep Commander 5.7 liter Hemi, and we are replacing inner and outer tie rods. So this Jeep, there's quite a few videos on the channel now. Check them out. There's a whole playlist for everything Jeeps with the WJ and everything else. There's some Saharas and everything else on there too. Check out the playlist. Guys, we're doing tie rods because they're getting worn. I gotta take this thing in for an alignment anyway. So if I'm paying for an alignment, I want to do tie rods now so I don't have to bring it back again when I decide to do them later. So we're just doing them today. I am using these Moogs or Mogs, whatever you want to call them, Moog, whatever they are. And I will link them down in the video description below so you guys can purchase them. Because remember, every time you buy something I link, after clicking on it, I make money. Whether you buy the thing I linked or something else, doesn't matter. Click on the links, buy stuff, I make a commission. It helps keep the channel running and helps me keep posting these videos. So yeah, do that. Anywho, pretty simple job. Not a complicated job on this Jeep. For once, something's easy. I like it. I already did the passenger side. It took me about 15 minutes, and I was kind of, well, it took me about 20 minutes, but I was taking my time and not really in a hurry. So we're going to do the driver's side together. You don't need a lift. You do need, well actually, you really don't even need to get this in the air, but it's going to be way easier in the air. So I'm going to pick this up and take the tire off, and then we'll do the tie rods together. Let's do it. Tire's going to come off, so let's get that going. Tire off. Oh. So the tie rods, the inner and outer tie rods, you can tell if they're bad by a few different ways. While this is on the ground, you can wiggle, see if there's any play in the ball joint right here. If you get any clunking going in and out of your inner tie rod, which is in here, those are all indications that it's bad. I like to stay ahead of things, so we're going to go ahead and replace these. We're at 123,000 miles on this thing, and it has had very little maintenance done to it, mainly because it hasn't needed it, but bushings are getting shot, stuff like that. So I'm just going to, do it while I'm in here because I'm getting an alignment, like I said. And I don't want to have to pay for an alignment twice just because I replace these in a couple months or what have you. So they're coming out today. First thing I like to do on tie rods, especially since I moved to South Dakota, is break this. Holy smokes, this thing sucked in. There is no threads left. Wow. This is a very, very, very tight tie rod here. Anyway, I like to break this jam nut loose before I get excited about anything because sometimes these get seized together. And while you're still bolted in, it's going to be a lot easier to break this loose. Oh! Dadgum! Oh! Passenger side's a little harder, and I just pounded into my finger. Alright, so you're just getting this broken loose so it's not seized together. And then we're going to take, this is a 21 millimeter, and I'm going to break this nut loose here. And I'm going to do that with the impact, but you can do it with a ratchet. Right there. Now we take the hammer. This is aluminum. You don't want to hammer on this too much. There's a couple ways people use pullers and stuff. I just hammer it out, man. Like that. Oy. Now that came out, now we're going to spin your outer tie rod off. What's important here is to get a semi-close alignment done so that you are not, your alignment guy's not struggling and your tires aren't way whacked out on the way to the alignment shop. So we're going to count, I'm sure you've heard of it before, how many turns this takes to get off. And we're going to have to hold that steady. So we're going to have to hold the inner tie rod from spinning while we do this. But every time this goes downwards, we're going to count to 1. Oh, she's stiff. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, oh gosh, yeah. Come on. We're still at 13, and she got stuck at it. Oh, okay, that's 14. Oh, 15. Whew. 16. 17. Gotta switch arms because that hurts. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. There we go. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31-ishly. So that was 31 turns to get that off. We need to remember that. So at least 30 plus whatever it takes to get it straightened out. So 30 plus is what I'm going to say. Now we got to take this jam nut off because we're doing both inners and outers. So we're going to put this on here. I'm going to use an impact. Oof. There's that. So now we need our pliers. We're going to take this clamp off this boot. Just squeeze together, pull it off. Okay, so deep back in here, if we follow this boot down, there is a metal tie clip, plastic if somebody's been in there before. We need to stretch that tie clip out enough that we can pull this boot off. Now how I do that is typically with a screwdriver. You just get inside this metal clip a little bit, take your hammer, and you're trying to get under the clip like that. Once you get under it, you can just twist your screwdriver and that stretches the band enough that you can pull the boot off, typically. So, there is a ridge that this end sits in. You have to overcome that. So usually it's a little pulling, like so. There we go. Here's that little clamp. We can just pull that off now. You can see where I kind of damaged it with the screwdriver. It's okay, we're throwing it away. Alright, so we are at a point now where we just have to get this inner tie rod off. There's a couple different tools you can use. I've always used the big awkward one until I needed this recently. Well, a while ago. I needed one of these tools a while ago. I will link this down in the description below too. And this is now my favorite tool to use for inner tie rods. I like it better than the big, huge, awkward, oblong, dummy thing, that's for sure. I think my kids are going to come in a minute, so I'll probably stop recording for a minute, but I'm just going to crank this down nice and tight.
Goodbye, Daddy.
There they are. Kids and Mom are leaving. They just wanted to say goodbye. So we're going to crank that down pretty tight. And then I'm going to grab a 3/8 inch ratchet device and stick it in the hole, and then we're going to do just like a bolt. We're just going to push her down. That's it. That's all it takes. Unless it's like seized in place, then it takes a little bit more, but this one was pretty nice. It takes a little bit to set it up, but so does the other one, and this one's nowhere near as frustrating doing it. So I have adopted this thing. I love it. It's my new favorite. It was only 20 bucks. I'll link it down below. You might get lucky. You can just turn your tie rod. This ball's a little loose, so we're going to come up here and spin it from up here. There we go. Yeah. Alright, so now we just grab our new one and we spin it back in where that one came out. Very important you don't cross thread. That's the actual rack that you're steering into. And that's very expensive. Alright, same thing. Once you got that tight, I'm going as tight as you can with your hand. I'm going to slide this guy in. The only thing to remember with this guy is you don't want to put it like that and tighten it, because then to tighten the tie rod you're going up and you will run out of room. Typically by the time I get this hand tight, you're only getting about 1/8 to 1/4 of a turn from my experience. So you don't need a lot of room, but you do need some room. Grab your same ratchet or a different one, I don't care. Plug it in the hole. Now we're going to kind of just try and give her a good yugga. Just like so. Okay, so now we put our boot back on. Just like I said before, there's a little indent back here. Shove her up until she falls into place. It's a pretty good feeling once it gets there. You'll know it. Then you're going to pop the back of this in. And then you're gonna grab your favorite flavor zip tie, preferably a heavier duty one that can withstand the cold and the snow. There we go. Just slide this in. This is the hardest part of the whole job on this Jeep, is make sure it's on the boot, the last little spot, and getting it tight. I kind of use my fingers, hope for the best. There's been many one of these boots where I've had to cut off and redo. Don't stress about it. It's just a zip tie. There we go. Now she's tight. Okay, cut your tail off. You put this little clamp back on. And we're just going to slide this guy in right here. Boom. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to put our jam nut on here. Moog Supplies, which is nice. I have bought tie rods in the past that did not come with a jam nut. That is not nice. No, this is not sponsored. I bought these with my own money. That said, if Moog or Mog would like to tell me how to say their name properly, Moog or Mog or Moog, and they would like to sponsor the channel, they are welcome to reach out. I do buy a lot of their products. Alright, so we're going to back this all the way up because that's where the other one was. We know we had 30 point something, 30 and a half turns to get on. Not super hard because water had gotten in there and made it difficult. So we're going to kind of paint this up here a little bit. Something to note, there is a little difference with tie rods from left and right. They seem to kick forward just a hair of a bit, so just be aware. So we're going to start from the bottom and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, which is odd. We did have 30, right? But there's a lot of threads left. On the other side, there's hardly any threads left. That gives me reason for concern, but we're gonna see what it looks like anyway. So I don't understand what's with all the extra threads on this one, but you can see that's where the clamp is. Oh, that's all the difference. So this clamp is right here, and right here is where that clamp would go. If you look, the shaft is way longer on this one than this one. This shaft is much smaller. So that's why we were out of threads on this side. Makes me feel a little bit better. All right, we're gonna take our jam nut and we're gonna move this up to the tie rod. We're just gonna seat it. We're not gonna jam it, I'm just seating it. All right, down here, we're gonna get this to a point where the threads show down there. And Moog supplies us with 1 grease zerk, 1 cotter pin, and 1 castle nut. I'm gonna get this castle nut on, and you can use a wrench or ratchet, whatever you want. I have the impact, I'm gonna use it. Where's the cotter pin go? Right there. We gotta go a little bit more to clear the cotter pin. Right. Too much. Right there. And of course we're gonna take our cotter pin, stick it through the hole of the castle nut. Whoop. Of course we're gonna grab our pliers and we're gonna twist that cotter pin to the side so it can't fall itself out. And then we're gonna take our little tiny grease zerk here and try and thread that in without getting it twisted. Okay, I think that's started. I'm gonna grab my 7mm ratchet. See if we can't suck this guy down in there. And we're gonna grab our big 24mm, and now is when we jam this into the jam. We jam the jammer, man. Okay. Ugh. Get that good and tight. These typically come from the factory with a little packaging grease. I like to add my own grease. That way, 1, I know it's greased, and 2, I know what kind of grease is in it. So about that much. And we're gonna clean up our little grease blob, and voila. Hey-o. Where's the hell? Alright folks, that's all there is to it. Replacing the tie rods on your Jeep Commander You have to go get an alignment or your toe could be actually kind of weirdo right now. So I would recommend an alignment, highly recommend an alignment. Even if you did the same amount of turns, doesn't mean everything is the same proportions on the tie rods themselves. So get yourself an alignment, make sure you're good, don't blast through your tires. I will link everything down below. Pretty easy job, pretty quick job. It's a 1 pair of gloves per side kind of job. I like those jobs, so yeah. Guys, check out the channel, leave a comment down below, let me know how you're doing, and click the links, buy stuff. That's all I gotta say. Adios.